Santa isn't coming. It's a decided difference.
A Decided Difference, the podcast devoted to your success and happiness. You choose the change you want. A Decided Difference will help you achieve it. Now here's your host, Lou Ann Clark.
If you have little ears listening with you to this episode, fair warning, I may say things in this episode you don't want little ears to hear. There is no profanity, but the topic is not child-friendly, so this is your chance. Maybe you'd like to switch to headphones or shut this off and listen later. Go ahead. Okay, all clear? Yes, you heard me right. This episode is coming out on Christmas Eve, but Santa Claus isn't coming. Santa isn't coming down the chimney with what you want this year. He isn't going to bring you health and happiness and satisfaction with your life and emotional resilience and courage and strength. I'm afraid building a happy, healthy life is totally a do-it-yourself project. If you keep waiting for Mr. or Ms. Right to come along, or to get a financial windfall, or for some kind of magical event to happen to change your life, you will probably have a very long wait indeed. You may remember Christmas as a magical time when you were a kid. You knew you had not been 100% nice, but still you woke up on Christmas morning to find piles of presents under the tree anyway. Now that you're an adult, of course, you know the truth. Someone worked very hard to make that magic happen for you. As you got older, you learned how the magic was created, and you began to participate in it, in creating it for others. I don't know how you feel about it, but I have had some of the best times of my life when I was working to make some magic happen for someone else. I would wager the same is true for you. If you want some magic in your Christmas, you're going to need to create it yourself. If you want your life to be different, healthier, happier, more successful, more satisfying, then it's going to be up to you to take charge of the process. Santa isn't coming. And for that matter, Prince Charming isn't coming, and your fairy godmother isn't going to show up to rescue you. And as much as it pains me to say it, you probably aren't going to win the lottery either. There is but one way to change your life, and that is to decide to change your life, and then carry out the decision. It's Christmas Eve. There isn't much time left to put some magic in your Christmas, but fortunately, you don't need a lot of time. You just need to set your mind in the mode to create magic, and also to detect magic when it comes close to you. Here's a very simple example of what I'm talking about, of how choosing your thoughts can change your attitude and your feelings about an experience. Yesterday, 2 days before Christmas, I was in Nashville, Tennessee. I told a friend that I was going to finish my Christmas shopping, and I said I was going to enjoy it thoroughly. I was not going to fight the holiday traffic, but rather I was going to enjoy having the expanded opportunities available to so many people in a big city. I was going to be grateful for the chance to be in my favorite city during such a festive time, and I was going to be consciously grateful for the options that were available to me there, but not open to me in my small hometown. He laughed out loud and said, "You're delusional." Well, maybe. But living under my deliberate delusions, I did enjoy the shopping excursion, along with what seemed like 1 million or so other people. Do you think it was a coincidence, though, that I found exactly what I was looking for, even though it was on the wrong shelf in one instance? Or that I showed up just as someone was pulling out of a parking space right by the door at 2 different stores? Or that one store I needed to go to in an unfamiliar part of town was exactly 1/10 of a mile from another one I needed to visit? It honestly was one of the easiest shopping trips I've made all year. And while I am sure there was some coincidence involved, my advanced decision to enjoy myself made me appreciate it all the more. And you have to know there were a couple of times when I said those famous words, "charmed life." You can decide to look for the joy that comes your way, regardless of your circumstances. How do you do that? You decide to let go of petty grievances and embrace your friends and family in the spirit of love. You can be open to receiving blessings that you couldn't possibly have expected. I had a couple of those happen this weekend, too. You decide to be grateful for whatever gifts you receive, even if you were hoping for something far different. And when you find joy, love, and gratitude, you can decide to focus on those positive feelings. Remember that whatever you focus on becomes bigger and more important in your mind. Whatever you allow your thoughts to dwell upon can crowd out other competing thoughts and can create certain feelings. If your focus is on stress or envy or anger or worry, you aren't going to feel very good. You can decide to let those thoughts go, even if it's only for a short time, even if it's only to get through Christmas dinner with the family. Families are complicated things, and everyone has some family member or members who aren't much fun to be around. Who knows why? They lied to you, they lied about you, they stabbed you in the back, they let you down, they broke your heart, they cheated you out of what was rightfully yours, they never understood you in the first place, they're still holding a grudge, although you have apologized at least a dozen times, they played favorites, they drink too much, they criticize too much. Look, I get it. But understand this. How you feel about your experience of any celebration is up to you. You decide whether you're going to pay attention to the negatives and allow them to bring you down. You decide whether to put up boundaries, and you decide how strong those boundaries will be. A year ago at Christmas, one of my family members brought up a sensitive and unpleasant topic at dinner. I was seated directly across from him, and I immediately said if we were going to talk about that topic, I would be leaving immediately. And I would have, had he not dropped the subject. I didn't have to be ugly about it, but I was very firm, and my Christmas was a great deal more pleasant because I stood my ground. I don't know what your Christmas is going to be like this year. I hope that you will be celebrating in your favorite way with your favorite people. But if you are not, I hope you will make the decision to find and to make some magic. The decision to enjoy this or any other holiday is part of the magic itself. Santa isn't coming with all the answers to your questions or solutions to your problems. But that's okay, because you don't need him to. You have everything you need to play Santa for yourself. You can stop waiting for the magic to appear and start participating in making it. And as demonstrated in my shopping experience in Nashville, I truly believe your decisions can set some real magic into motion in the form of coincidences or unexpected connections or opportunities you didn't anticipate. What do you have to lose anyway, except your Scroogey attitude? And please, oh please, do not feel guilty about deciding you want magic in your holiday and in your life. I have been more conscious about opening my heart to find magic in these past few weeks. And guess what? Magic has started to find me. I am very grateful. I want to leave you this week with some good advice. I've told you about my 94-year-old aunt who's been in and out of the hospital recently. I'm happy to report that at the time of this recording, she is feeling much better and getting stronger. When I have spent time with her lately, she's been in a nostalgic mood, reminiscing about the experiences of her life, both good and bad. And many times she has remarked about how one decision or another changed the course of events, for better or for worse. She has lived an extraordinary life. She is an extraordinary woman. So when she gave me some advice, you know I paid attention. And now I want to share that advice with you. Luann, she said, life is so short. It goes by so fast. Kick up your heels while you still can. I'm going to do that very thing right this very moment, and I hope you will too. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and I hope you remember, the world doesn't change. You do.